Hear that roar of thunder. Hear those tires scream. Is every boy's hero, every lady's dream. Flying down highway heading west in a streak of black light called the Bandit Express. Look out, the bandits coming, tires screaming, engine humming. Looks like the bandits on the move. Look out, the bandits coming, deck drum running and war no women. Tell those smokies all to take a rest, 'cause they'll never get the Bandit Express.
Hello everyone, truck driver formerly known as Jack, Brad here, on the sunny hills around Yass, Conroy's Hill parking bay. Do a little bit of a spotlight for the big girl, the FH16. There's going to be some bias between Kenworths or European and American trucks. We'll leave that till later. Euro 5, big 600, big doors, big cab. That door goes all the way down. I've got to be careful because it is windy. Big door, which is fun trying to climb up in it, especially if the way the wheel is so far forward in the cab. But apart from your sort of long bonneted, or not your cab over trucks anyway, most of them are hard to get into. I've had 200 for long enough, 200 Kenworth, and even they're fun unless you're lucky enough to have the electronic fold out stairs like the Argosy. But we'll go around, we'll hop in the big girl anyway. Yep, still there. Now we got it ready to give them 2 weeks notice over it. Oh, before we do climb in, one thing I don't like, and I know there's a few guys in the UK that have started watching, engine power master switch on the outside here. Now in Australia you only got to look on the highway of all the trucks getting up down with damage, especially the European trucks, because they're real flimsy. There's not much plastic to them. But we've even got one truck that's got the whole front step missing from when it hit a kangaroo and just tore it all away. Having that there scares me, because if a roo comes through, and I have had one come through, you might be able to see the ribs along here where his tail hit. If he'd hit there and ripped that off and shored that switch out, I'd be without power. So it's I don't know why they do it, but I don't like it. The older ones, they don't have it, but yeah. So yeah, anyway, we're going to climb back up inside her anyway. So I've also got a leveling thing here. Key's got to be on, but basically up and down. Does the same as what your switch and your Kenworth does, just automatically, and got a little bit more range of movement too. So hooking and unhooking trailers is a hell of a lot better. Fire extinguisher in this. Last company I was with put extinguishers on the back of their truck just because it was mandatory for insurance, even though we all knew if the truck went up, empty the extinguisher and walk away from it. Don't even try and save it. Same thing here. It's not a straight climb, but close this door so we don't have much noise. Then we have the cockpit, and one thing I do love about the European trucks over the American ones is just the visual being able to see, apart from cracks, out the windows. You do have a bit of a blind spot there for the big plastic mirrors either side, but it's you're going to have that in any truck except for those new Mercedes that have the cameras in there. But we'll start off the sleeper. Nothing special, single person sleeper. The two earlier DAFs I used to drive were high top ones, had the extra bunk bed in them, which was freaky, especially when someone was up there and you're driving or moving anyway. But basic layout inside, unlike the Kenworths and that, you don't have all the gauges. Well, it's all done by computer now, so sensors beside you telling you if there's a car there or not, lane assist, your reverse beeper, hill start, diff interlocks and that sort of thing. No yard valves for your brakes, you just got the button, you push it or pull it to put your brakes on and turn them off. Spares, driver assist system, which is an absolute pain in the ass, and collision avoidance. That's handy when she gets foggy going into Canberra and you can only see about 10 metres in front of you. Your basic aircon controls, climate controls, all that sort of stuff, and then all the stuff to do with your infotainment system, which again is annoying. A couple of later model, earlier model trucks that I've driven, the stereo's been down in that hole there, and the hole's still there. But this being a 2022 FH16, they got this new infotainment system now, which phone, everything's touchscreen, cameras, everything. So that works, and then you've got your controls here to answer calls, whatever else. Speaker, mute for your controls. Little lever under the dash. Height adjustment for your seat, your steering wheel. That one, and then you push down a second stage, and you can pull it out, push it up, do all sorts of things with it. But she's not too bad there. And then down over here, you got your release for your cab tilt, and some loading lights at the back, mirrors, mirror heat, all your mirror controls, power windows, all that sort of thing. Up here, light controls. These are all different for different trucks. The last couple had the submarine red lighting in. This doesn't have the red lights, and then you can turn your lights on and off there, or hit your door button there, and that'll make lights come on when you're when you open and close the door, obviously. Last couple, yeah mate, copy. Last couple had a pull down sun visor up top. This one conveniently has a nice little switch, which is just something else to brake, hazard lights or your four-ways, sunroof. We'll get to the sunroof. Yeah, I've just opened the dark shade up. Open that up. Now, that sunroof's closed, but it doesn't lock shut. If I normally the back around, if I go one way, go up. She opens up. That's as much as it opens, and it only opens from the rear, and it's still not locked. Bring him back down. That's as far as it goes. It doesn't lock, so I probably shouldn't say it too loud, but if you ever want to break into one and you're game enough to get on the roof, or more so, I'll scratch that. If you ever get locked out of one, lock yourself out, and you're game enough to climb up on top of it, you can climb up on top and go through the sky roof. UHF doesn't work. Red button here is basically hooked up to the camera system, which has got cameras at the mirrors and then the one on the front. If someone's doing something stupid, or I can see an accident about to happen, I can press that button and it will automatically alert work and start sending the video feed to them, so they'll know something's going on there. Lolly stash, I don't know what that is. It says it's got detector on it. It's obviously not a smoke detector. I do see this light blink every now and then, but I don't know what that does. There's a lot of things in here coming out of a 200 Kenworth into this. I was just lucky. I got a mate, old army mate up in Townsville that runs these west out to Mount Isa, and I was able to text message him and find out what a lot of this stuff does, because I didn't know. The first night in there, I didn't even know how to take the brakes off. And then gears, being automatic, European of course, flappy paddle at the front, just same as a car basically. And then you've got go to manual, and you got your plus and minus there, which I always drive. I only leave this in auto when I'm in town, taking off from lights and that, slowing down everything else. It just, autos always they always just want to chug along. They always want to be in the top gear they can, and the exhaust brakes don't work when it's idle, when it's at low idle. So as I said, computer does most things. Got the warning there. Got two different versions I can have the flat screen, or your traditional speedo type dial. It's good. It does have sort of all your fuel usages and that as you're driving, which being a company truck I don't really need to do. Time, temp, fuel gauge, gears, that sort of thing. The E there is your mode here. You can change that from mode to more aggressive or less economy uphill. All that does is change how fast or how often the gears change. It doesn't actually give you more power, which just going to manual and putting into or going to the box and putting in the manual and changing gears once you drop under 2000 at 2000 under 1500 I should say, does that. So AdBlue of course is a Euro 5 truck, so it has AdBlue, 346,000 Ks. So nothing should be broken in it. We're only having that many Ks, but unfortunately there isn't. And if you go back to that one, you'll see you get percentages instead of your dials for fuel and AdBlue. Other things quickly, the other good thing about European trucks, unlike the American ones, you got proper seats to sit on and not milk crates. So move back, forwards, up and down, heated seats. I don't know why anyone ever needs heated seats. I ride motorbikes, and same with heated grips. I don't know why. There's plenty of gloves out there and that will do it. Oh, that's handy. Oh, there you go. Does have a fridge built in. I don't use it obviously. The Esky's easier. We're not overnight, but not staying away more than the night, so the ice block I put in there is more than enough for the Esky. So, and then doing this job for nearly a year now, I haven't had a night away where I've been stuck on the side of the road. I don't think, apart from once when the old W model I drove, the 444, and it blew up and I had to wait in Canberra until another truck come up the following night, was the only time I've really been stuck on the road. And that W model got a C15 put in it, and she flew. Had to be very careful with the point-to-point cameras. Plenty of storage, and yeah, I think that's basically it with the inside. But what's the good of that if we can't drive it? And believe it or not, it is the next day. There's been a computer issue at home. The laptop I use for editing and making these videos died and took half the footage with it. So we're back. It has rained, hence you'll notice in some shots the truck will be dirty and then the next shots will be clean. But I wanted to get this video out. It's been long enough, and computer issues aside, needed to get it done. So we'll turn off the vehicle beside your warning, mainly because half the time it doesn't work, and when it does, it sets off a horn under the dash that scares the shit out of you. Even if you're driving down, want to turn left into a road, and there's a line of cars there, it'll detect, say that's cars beside you and beep at you and make a noise. So I'd love to be able to disable that, but that's off. Same with the lane, not crossing over the white lines. There are sensors down near the front wheels. Again, I can go from Albury to Gundagai 200 k's before that actually starts working, so just something else to turn off because it never really works. But we're going to take off in auto just because we're on a bit of a downhill run, and just like the DAF I used to drive, just like the old Kenworths, the T650 with the Eaton auto shift in it, no matter how many times you push that plus button, you're never going to be able to catch up with the gears. So that's the brake off, as I showed before. We'll leave the wheel there so you can see the dash. Make sure no one's coming in there at 100 mile an hour, and we'll head out onto the highway. Little one south out of Conroy's. As I said earlier, the HF works. I can hear people talking on it, and I'll turn it off before we get interrupted. But for some reason, if I'm talking to another unit, another truck, whatever it is, as soon as they get behind me, that's it. There's no static, there's just nothing, no communications whatsoever either way. But I can turn off the highway and get into Murray and Bateman, which is about 30 k's off the highway, and still hear traffic on the highway. I can still hear roadworks, I can still hear other people talking. So if you do see me on the road and want to have a chat, and it's only half a chat, that's probably why. It's just a pain in the ass. I can only think either the aerials become unplugged at the back, or the antenna, because this has got all the satellite uplink video back to the company, tracking all that sort of stuff. Maybe that's interfering with it, but it's never been an issue in any of the other couple of Volvos the company's got that I've driven. So head down here. Plenty of aircon vents, big vents there. The fan goes flat out. You get plenty of air. Unlike the K200 I used to drive, which is probably why I still see a lot of blokes, servos and that, fueling up and leaving the truck running just to keep that aircon on, because you only need to be off for half an hour. All that heat coming up through the floor, and it can get pretty hot in here, especially over summer, or in the Kenworth anyway. And that's one good thing about the skylight, is just being able to open that, have it cracked when you're not in it, just so any hot air, any rises obviously and goes out that skylight, but or sunroof. So yeah. And then, as a lot of the criticisms against the European trucks go, it is a lounge chair. You get in here, it's a couch, comfy. Set the cruise control if you want. Cruise control's got to be on so you can set it. I've noticed this truck too, the the oncoming adaptive radar doesn't seem to like to work half the time. It come on by itself the other day, but that's probably a good thing. I noticed with the last Volvo I was in, you'd drive it on the lane avoidance cruise control all the time, or the collision avoidance cruise control all the time, and get home and get in your car and then wonder why you're getting too close to the cars in front of you, because you're just relying on that. Same, I'm sure everyone's done it. You get out of the truck at the end of the day, get home, or go to travel home, and go to hit the indicators and the windscreen wipers come on, just because everything's in different places, or getting used to being in the truck compared to being in your own car. You've also got a range of controls here on the steering wheel, obviously. Indicators, high beams. Over here you got the exhaust brake settings, 1, 2, 3, just like any other truck, even though it's normally a switch, not an arm. And then under that you've got the windscreen wiper controls, and the speed for the intermittent part of that. As I said, cruise control stuff's there, radio mute, volume's there, and then over here you've basically got all your different settings. Change the display as I did before, cycle through air pressure, engine coolant, temp, oil pressure, oil level, oil temp, volt, alternator output, gearbox temp, and boost pressure. So all them things that have a different gauge on a Kenworth, whereas here it's all monitored electronically. So when something doesn't go right, it'll let you know and beep and carry on like we've seen before, even down to the fact that it knows you haven't got you've got a blown light globe or something like that. And then, as you would have seen before, over on the right, over on the left, your fuel usage stuff. Normally this is averaging about 42, 43 litres per 100. I don't even want to try and do the math on that. Times by 3, so 100 miles to the gallon. No, that doesn't seem right. 100 gallons to the mile. That might be better. I don't know. Any American blokes that watch this and know, you'll know what these trucks use if you drive them over there. Although I don't know how many European trucks are in America. Someone can definitely tell me that. But yeah, so I'm just going to talk a little bit more here, because down here, when I come up this morning, there was I think it was a Finnemore's fridge truck was in the middle. One had gone off there a couple of weeks ago, and there's another one down here below Connors Creek. So while we're getting, you do have a pull down sunshade there as well. You can turn these lights on by themselves, or the interior light as I showed. I've probably missed a heap of stuff. There's anything I didn't point out. That's just a little glove box up there. It's got the manual and all that in it. But yeah, if there's anything in here that I haven't pointed out, please ask. Any ideas for videos that you want to see? I've got some ideas going forward. Again, just ask. I'll try and get to all the comments again like I have the last 2 videos. It's one of those things, I could film every day and post a video about it, but I don't want to be posting, I've said it before, don't want to be posting the same old stuff. There's been some variety in the job recently coming out of Christmas. I could film some of that, but it's I want to try and keep it fresh, show some different stuff. I've got some ideas, running on the Hume. I love my history and that sort of stuff, so I'd love to stop and have a look at some different historical spots along the Hume as well, because there's a rich story that goes way back to when that first shovel was turned in 1962 to begin duplication of the Great Southern Road. So I'd love to talk about that. I think we might be getting close. Oh no, that's where he went in. Oh, they got him out. Oh, that's him, that's the trailer there. Went in there, pulled him out forward, double. Ex-Hannah's haulage. I don't think the truck must have got towed. Probably hit one of the concrete drains in the middle and ripped the sump out of it. Come on, you can do 110. Yeah, I'm going to bring this up in another video. Cars just sitting either right at the back of trucks or right beside them for prolonged periods. Another thing I don't want to do with these videos is preach to the choir. I don't want to sound like a whinging truckie, because I hate the term. I hate hearing truckies whinge myself. But I want to sort of try and be a little bit educational and show you a concern we might have, or a known concern on the road, and just educate those that don't drive trucks on how you can better get around it. And I'll interlace that with some personal stories as well, where things have gone south because cars have followed you too close behind and you've hit something in the middle of the road that's not your fault at all, but the insurance company's coming after you and you're getting blamed for shitty maintenance because stuff's fallen off your truck when it was clearly on the road already. But that'll be for a upcoming video. So about what I said earlier about American versus European, it's not my money. I didn't buy the bloody thing, so if you're known a driver and going into it yourself and you want to spend the extra money and buy something that looks good, yeah, of course you're probably going to buy an American truck or a Kenworth. So you see up and down the highway, you don't see too many trucks that have the Volvos and the Mercedes. You don't see too many customised ones. There might be a bit of a paint scheme on it, there might be some extra LEDs on it, or a light bar on the roof, but that's pretty much it. Unlike some of the customisation you get for your Kenworth or your Mack. So again, there is the stigma out there of these trucks about them being too comfortable, blokes falling asleep. They are comfy, it's great. I'm not changing gears. I've done enough of that. I've driven old trucks, W models. When I started out, everything was old second hand. Why not sit back and enjoy it now? There's so much of this job that's a pain in the ass. Having little comforts and being able to enjoy something is it's better than not having anything to enjoy. So, and again, not having the back of the cab there like you do in the big nose Kenworths. You can put the seat right back, legs to nearly stretch straight out, and life is sweet. And it's always been the joke that Kenworths ride like a bucket of shit. My father's at home now. He's been home for the last week and a half, stretched out straight on the recliner with a perforated disc from a 90. It looks good, but it's not comfy. And when he's nudging 70, last thing you want to be doing is in there, bing, 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 bounce, 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 bounce. Now, they're getting better. From what I've heard, the new 220s have got some real good stuff in them, and they might actually have airbags on the cab now. It took them long enough to get cup holders. They're the 79 series of trucks, but you still do have to pay for all the extras. But anyway, that's another thing too. You're paying upwards of 500,000-600,000 for some of them Kenworths, where probably 300,000-400,000 for one of these. I haven't looked it up. I don't want to look it up because I don't know how much this is to replace if I put it on its roof. But it's the debate. A lot of people out there driving around their 90s forget how the transport industry started in Australia. It was through European trucks, military surplus, blitzers, all that old gear. And as much as people hated the European trucks back then, swore on Bedfords, Commas, Fiats, all those trucks, they were the backbone of Australian trucking, and the industry is where it is now because of those European trucks. And of course, once the big boys come in, the Kenworths and that come in, and there's a jump in horsepower, a jump in the gear ratios, and diff size and how much weight can be carted. It just got bigger and bigger from there. So plus there's also the other key factor on why these European trucks are so popular now too, is just there's that much of a driver shortage out there at the moment. Companies are buying these trucks just so they can get people in, and I showed you. It's the same as driving a car. As long as you remember that you've got bloody 19 metres of trailer behind you, truck and trailer behind you, you can drive them. And that's, unfortunately, when you see a lot of headlines and news news reports and that with truck incidents because someone who's just got out of a car has jumped in a truck and it hasn't gone well for them. So, would I ever go back to a Kenworth? Probably not. But, it'd be like going from the Commodore now back into an FJ Land Cruiser, FJ45. Just wouldn't. I'd probably tolerate it, but I wouldn't be happy about it, and I'd probably be off the highway again, like I did last time. So, anyway, I want this to be a short one. It's probably already going too long. So, again, massive thank you to everyone that's watched, commented. I've tried to get everyone's comments and answer them. If I haven't, forgive me. There's a few there. Gonna keep on going ahead, not rushing videos out. The last couple of weeks have been a bit of a pain in the arse with work, and I'm not gonna take up work time to do this. If I've got to have my 15-minute break or something on the side of the road, I'll do it. But for the most part, I'm sort of trying to fit this into my own time, even though I'm out driving and doing the job. So we're going to keep on going. Hopefully a little bit shorter like this. Every now and then, maybe once every couple of months, I will do a full day's trip if it's different to what I've already shown before, which there's been a few different ones in the meantime, and I probably should have filmed them, but anyway. So I'm going to keep on heading south on the Hume, and I'll catch you all next time. Sender in the Westerns.
Are you going to come along or are you going to hold everyone up?
It's a hungry night.
This is Robert Naked.
We're all
Sorry, mate, just had the hijack turn down for a second.
and the race is
Keep on
done.
coming straight up the left hand side.
When the race is won in the morning sun, just looking to the light.